Wagwan guys, what's going on? I hope you're doing well. I cannot complain myself. Interesting video we got here for you today. DDG and Halle Bailey. I believe they have recently broken up. They were never married, but they were in a relationship and they did have a child together that came from their union. And it seems like DDG posted to his Instagram basically you can say a heartfelt message to his followers and supporters, basically talking about the events that transpire. And this is what he says: "Dear friends and supporters, after much reflection and heartfelt conversations, Halle and I have decided to go our separate ways. This decision was not easy, but we believe it's the best path forward for both of us. I cherish the time we've spent together and the love we've shared. Despite the changes in our relationship, our love for each other remains deep and true. We are still best friends and adore each other. As we focus on our individual journeys and our roles as co-parents, we cherish the bond we've built and the beautiful moments we've shared. As we navigate this transition, we ask for understanding and support. Thank you for your love and encouragement, DDG." That's what he posted on his IG. That's basically kind of what broke the news to everyone about their breakup, right? And again, they had a son, and I'm not too sure kind of what caused this, but I've seen the red flags. Now, DDG, he's very popular, just as Halle Bailey is, right? And when I seen the picture, I thought everything was pretty good in paradise. I really did. And you know, I see him with his son a lot. I've seen the picture. I think even Complex retweeted it, and it was, you know, it was reminiscent of like maybe a Simpsons character or something like that, right? How the son looked, and people were making memes of it. I thought, hey, catchy, this is gonna be like publicity. But once listen to me, okay, I don't know if it's a comparison to like a woman scorn or what. I don't even want to compare it to that. But I seen Mama Bear. I don't even want to say Mama Bear. I seen Mama Claus come out, right? And because I just started seeing her taking pictures with her son more. And it was like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, hands off. This is my son. You know, it could be a lot of things, right? It could be a lot of different things, right? You know, mother is protective or whatever. Postpartum, I think it falls in that window. Just looking at it, let's look at the definition of postpartum really quickly. Postpartum is a time after giving birth, and it's a time of many physical and emotional changes for the mother. The postpartum period is also known as the puerperium of the 4th trimester. Okay, and let's see, the length typically lasts 6 to 8 weeks, but some symptoms can last months. Phases: acute phase is 6 to 12 hours after birth. Subacute phase 6 weeks, and delayed phase up to 6 months. And this is all after birth, and like the son is 7 months old at this time. So I think that falls right. That could, I don't know, a lot of crazy things happen. You know, it could just be like mother instincts, intuition, whatever. I mean, come on. You know, he has a big fan base, right? And we all know, like, this is literally like, women do that. Women be like, oh, this is my boyfriend, and the kid is like 2 years old, and the woman say like, this is or this kid's gonna break hearts or whatever. I'm telling you, this is the stuff. This is like pretty normal stuff, you feel me? So I can understand how, like, you know, Halle Bailey would be like, you know what, I'm gonna be protective of my son. And then like, you just see, I start seeing more pictures of her like literally in like a mother protective stand, you know what I'm saying, position with her son. I don't know. Am I overthinking this? But that's kind of the feelings and emotions that I got from it. And then weeks after that viral post that DDG, posted of his son, the picture, they're breaking up. So, I mean, come on. Was it trouble in paradise all along? Now, I will say this. It was rumors that came out. Wow. Because everybody's like, I mean, you look at, the Shade Room and some other stuff like that. There's some blog sites, they're posting like reactions of fans, basically, who are like on Halle Bailey's side. And probably who were in disagreement, right? When they were getting together. I believe it was even a petition. I made a video on that. It was like a petition. People were signing petitions for them not to, be in a relationship when they first were dating. And so you have a certain percentage of people, that's following them closely that are against, from go, you know what I'm saying? They were against the relationship, period. So you have people that are kind of celebrating, their breakup, as it were. Now, I will say this. Despite all the petitions and you have people, naysayers, whatever, there was an incident, because I think he talked to Ruby Rose, if I wasn't mistaken. He was before this relationship with Halle Bailey, he was talking to Ruby, right? He was definitely talking to Ruby Rose, if y'all can remember, for a short period of time, whatever, okay? Which I thought that was whatever. I thought it was a good relationship. And then his next ensuing relationship, he has a kid, right? So that was interesting to me. But during the time where they were in a relationship, I don't know if she was pregnant or not yet, but it was text messages that I think that she leaked out of him trying to talking to her. And I don't know if the dates, it was dates and all that stuff. I mean, to me, it just seemed like it didn't stick. You know what I'm saying? It just seemed like it didn't stick. Maybe it was a little bit too much. Ruby Rose is known to kind of pop style, even with Drewski. I'm supposed to be doing a video on that pretty soon. But she had this whole spur of the moment thing with, Drewski, where she kind of exposed what was going on there. So you have that, okay? You have that, add that in there, okay? And so she was dealing with that, right? In the relationship. But obviously, they had the baby, they still kept talking, but it's you did all of that, to have a child and then not be able to raise that child in a two-parent household. When there's so many benefits of having a two-parent household, you know what I'm saying? Higher income, academics and behavioral success, more time for parenting, reduced stress. You have so many benefits coming out of a two-parent house. And was it 71% of children, that they grew up in a two-parent household in the United States, right? Fun fact here. But it's just one of those things, right? And not even talking about, just for a second, since we're talking about two-parent households and all these things, to okay, yes, we're talking about Halle Bailey and DDG, but just even when we're talking about two-parent household, this is a greater, larger issue, right? And then you can only, what's the next conversation that's going to enter? Abortion, right? And this is a black couple, right? I know it's out of left field or whatever, right? But I mean, these are the things that I'm just saying, right? This is definitely a conversation that needs to be had if we're talking about parenting, the decisions that you make, what type of relationship are you trying to have, right? This is still a norm of two-parent household in the United States, right? But I mean, these are costly decisions, okay? And I don't care, even if it's not coming out of a 2-parent household, whatever. Have the kid, have the baby, right? I do want to say that. Have the kid, right? You know, on a last ditch effort, you may have some couples, you know, put the child up for adoption, right? And then the child now, you know, is gonna grow up to, you know, have some type of ill will, distrust, negative feelings and emotions, you know, definitely towards the parents that put them up for adoption. But let's say he's, you know, the child is raised in a different, you know, raised in a household of a different race, right? Now you're gonna have that's gonna go in there. They may have some ill will, you know, to their race, right? Because they were raised by their adopted parents, you know, maybe they're a different race. So now you have that into the conversation. I met a guy, and this guy was telling me, right? And this guy was literally telling me how his mommy and daddy were white, right? I was getting my bearings straight at the time, so I was already like kind of, you know, ill prepared for that conversation. But this guy was telling me how he was like, yeah, man, my mom and dad is white. And then, you know, that's what he was telling me. I was like, you know, it was an earlobe, right? So that's like just a little bit. I have a little bit of experience when it comes to like conversations being had, and, you know, in that area, right? But once again, you know, hey, these guys are rich and famous. I'm pretty sure, you know, they're going to be able to take care of their child pretty well. You know, they're going to, you know, live to have, you know, prosperous lives. I'm not sure if that was her sister that played The Little Mermaid. So, you know, they're gonna be all right. I'm pretty sure of it, right? But just having that conversation and even seeing, like, you know, on the higher levels, you know, it could be done. You feel me? It definitely could be done, and be very successful. But when you start looking at celebrities and then you idolize them and then you see the things that they do and that works for them, and sometimes you may think that you could do it too, but you see it's going to be much more difficult, right? And then I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was like an article in 2002. It was saying like 40% of abortions are, you know, by black women. So I always, you know, try to throw that in there, right? To, you know, I'm not too sure if that changed, because in 2002, I think it was the Jane Roe, that was that case, that ruling. It was basically what was it, overturned, or let's see the right wording for that. Basically what happened was the Supreme Court, they basically dismissed it on the basis that the plaintiff who initiated the case did not have the necessary legal standings to bring this challenge in federal court in the first place. So the Supreme Court basically, I believe they dismissed that in 2002, if I'm not mistaken, that Roe decision. But double check me. But you know what? Interesting video. It kind of, you know, gets the mind going on a few other things. But like I said, you know, saying, I wish those two guys the best. Hey, peace, man. I'm out.